Hello, so right now I have the bodice front piece, which is piece number 21, laid out on my taffeta and my lining fabric that I'm using. And in the introductory piece about the basic design of the pattern, I talked about how we were going to go for a complete V here at the waist. When the pattern is unfolded out at its full width, the pattern piece at the bottom is about 1.5 inches wide, and so we are going for a 5/8 inch width here, so that when you have your seam allowance, when you attach your bodice middle front piece, then you will have a perfect V down here at the bottom. So what I did is I essentially, from the notch, there's only one notch on this pattern piece, from this notch I kind of folded it in and just folded this over, and it's about 7/8 inch wide here, and I have 5/8 inch width down here, and so it's just a nice little folded crease, and that's basically how you are going to achieve the V on the bodice front with the taffeta. So, continuing on part 2 of the bodice front and how to make the modification, what I did is I got some tailor's chalk, and this bodice middle front piece, which is piece number 22, as you can see, what I did is I took some tailor's chalk and I extended here at the bottom of this piece by 7/8 of an inch to make up for the 7/8 that we lost on the bodice front piece, and then I just extended it up, same point as what we have here, and then from this point on I kind of just tapered it in so that we hit right here at the curve. And the reason why I didn't actually extend a ton over here is because we didn't really lose a lot here in this little section right underneath the breast area, and I basically wanted to make certain that I was just making up for the excess fabric that we lost from probably about the curve on down and everything. But you can see I did mark my tailor's chalk here up and everything, and I kind of gradiated the curve so that it hits about here and everything, and so that's the only change that's happened on this pattern piece. So here's a before and after of the straps. Like I said, I cut in the directions. I cut a 4-inch wide strip of fabric, the length of the pattern piece, for a size 10 for Katie's dress, and then I just sewed a lovely seam. Not that you can really see it, maybe you can see it on this side a little bit, I don't know, 1/2 inch wide, and then I turned it out and pressed it, and so voila, we have our lovely strap for the dress. 1.5 inches wide. It's that simple and easy. So we have the finished bodice for Katie's dress, and you can see here, you can see the whole bodice right here, how it's supposed to look, the front of it. Down here on the piping on the V on the front panel, you can see it comes in, and this ends right here in the seam allowance. So when I turn that, when I put the skirt on, it'll be a nice little point, and it'll be exactly the way it's supposed to look. Up here at the top of the bodice, the strap come right out at the edge on the front bodice panel. They are placed exactly where they're supposed to be placed according to the pattern, and it covers up the bra strap very nicely. On the back side of the dress, the strap, the pattern actually calls for the strap to be placed here at the edge like it is on the front. I did not do that when I was fitting Katie because her bra strap comes in a little bit a little bit further on the shoulder blade, so I adjusted my placement of my bra strap, of my dress strap, to cover up her bra strap. But that's really a matter of you, when you're fitting your girl, placing that strap where it needs to be in order to cover her bra straps. And so I just say do whatever you need to do. I don't think that you'll wind up going up any further in than this seam here between the bodice middle back and the bodice back piece, but pretty much anywhere that you need to place the bra strap on the bodice side back and the bodice middle back pieces, go ahead and do that. That's not going to be something that is going to cause a problem. Now, the other thing that I did on this dress is I understitched the lining and the bodice together here on the bodice front section. I was having an issue with the lining picking up through and being seen on the front of the bodice, so I chose to understitch. I didn't go all the way into the corner because it's really hard to get into the corners of these of this dress and make it work. And I did not understitch on the back side, as you can see, because it wasn't necessary. As you can see, the bodice lining is not showing through on the back side of this dress. So understitching at your discretion, but please, if any of the lining is poking through and visible on the front, go ahead and understitch. Hello again. On the bodice, after I did a fitting with the zipper and the skirt on the dress on Katie, I decided that I did not like the little edge right here of the fabric kind of sticking out on Katie's shoulder, and I wanted the shoulder straps to be where the bodice actually ends. So I am making another modification to the bodice, and I have my strap ending at this seam between the bodice middle back piece and the bodice side back piece, as you can see, and I am going to taper my edge of my side back piece so that it comes up here to this point where the bodice back, side back, and the bodice middle back pieces meet. And I'm going to wind up tapering this edge right here, and then I'm going to trim off this excess fabric here. And that is going to mean that on the bodice back, the strap is going to be where the fabric ends. And I will show you that once I get done sewing. So as you can see, I have my seam here, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and clip along the excess fabric, and then I'm going to trim this in so that I can make my actual corner, and I'll clip my curves here as well in the armpit, and then I'll turn the fabric right side out. Hello, as you can see, now I have the straps inserted, and I tapered off my bodice side back piece so that it angles and meets up here at the seam where the bodice side back and the bodice middle back piece meet. And I have the zipper in the dress now. I didn't in my earlier video. I made a choice after I did my final fitting on Katie to go ahead and understitch this back lining section. Again, that is at your discretion. If you feel like your lining is not going to show, then you don't need to do that understitching. I made the personal choice that I didn't want it to show at all, so I did it. And you can see over here my finished edge. And all I need to do at this point is the hand stitching on the bodice lining so that it is stitched down to the bodice, because that's how I choose to insert my zippers. If I can get it unzipped, then you'll be able to see And again, zipper instructions really at your discretion. As you can see, I don't have my lining stitched down. I will wind up folding this under and then hand sewing that all down, both at the side where the zipper is and then where the bodice and the waistband meet on the inside of the dress. And that is really it for the bodice construction.